You're hot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation from 3Y TV of the Weekend Woodsman OSCA Weekend Woodsman Series. We're off to a great start. I guess I'll say it properly now, the way that Carlos wants me to. For the Poc-OH-NO 130, I'm Nathaniel Cherry. Alongside me is Vic Bloom, Trevor McNeil, and Carlos Acosta. We're in for a foggy one, so this might be fun to commentate. Trevor, are you looking forward to it tonight?
I'm looking forward about as far as I can see with this overcast, foggy weather. It's been a while since we've been to Poc-OH-NO. Obviously, in the series, based off of what I've seen in the chat, something like 6 seasons since we've raced Poc-OH-NO. So a lot of drivers that already are having their own challenges just for the longevity that we haven't been here, on top of the weather as well. So very excited with what this is going to bring, because I have a feeling things are going to get a little crazy here.
Yeah, and I think the name of the race being the Poc-OH-NO 130 is probably pretty accurate to what the drivers are thinking when they look at the fog down the straightaways tonight. And also, I just want to give a shout out, usually in the booth, but Goody is racing tonight.
Oh.
So that's going to be fun. We'll see. Well, I'm sure we'll be cheering him on. I know we're not supposed to have any bias up here in the booth, but you know, can we all just pick Goody tonight? Is that allowed, Vic? Are we all allowed to just pick Goody?
No, he's the emotional support pick.
Oh, okay.
He's the one pick that we can't actually have any good credibility on. But I'm excited to see what Goody can do. Put one of us down there on the track. And thankful it's not me, because I don't want anything to do with this race, especially in this weather conditions.
I
him.
I think Goody's going to shock us. He's going to win. I'm calling it now. And if I'm wrong, then I'm, oh well, it's a feel-good pick. Doesn't matter too much.
I like that confidence, though.
Yes. All right, we're heading into qualifying now, and it's group qualifying tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what the drivers do with the draft. And it looks like in qualifying, the fog has lightened a bit.
That's good
That's
news.
at least a little reassuring. Yeah, maybe able to see those left turns a little more. There's not a lot of them. Only, I think, one less than the normal track, technically speaking. It's a triangle.
Sorry, not to cut you off there, but it looks like it's not actually open qualifying.
Wait, what?
You just have 10 minutes for the drivers to do 11 laps. So
Vic,
that's going to be
you got some
interesting to see how much race
explaining to
control is
do.
going to cut us off.
Yeah. iRacing has decided they just don't want to cooperate with me tonight. I'm not really sure what the f is going on.
Perfect. Oh,
I said it that way, and it's just apparently iRacing says nah, fam.
This is the Poc-OH-NO 130.
One by one, the dominoes fall. That's perfect. Well, that'll make things.
I don't feel
more
too bad
curious.
about screwing up my intro for the live stream now. Since we had pause and now this.
Always all compliments to iRacing, Papa iRacing, always in charge and never letting us do exactly as planned, as organized. But with this qualifying, I'm interested to see kind of how, because obviously I wasn't there for the practice session. I had something called a day job or whatever. I don't know.
How dare you?
Do you guys have any good information as to what we're expecting out of this one? How did the drivers fare during the practice session earlier this week?
Well, you see, I have this thing called school, so I wasn't really paying attention too much. Actually, while we were doing the practice session just before this, I was doing homework, waiting for the race to start. So, from what I've seen, it looks like a good lap time, a competitive lap time, is going to be a low 52 for going for pole. Maybe a mid 52 to low 52. And as per usual in OSCA practice, I was seeing lots of incidents happen. But I'm sure that the boys will clean it up for the race, and it's a wide track. I could see a lot of green flag racing tonight.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me too much to see a lot of that. And given credit, there's been a lot of very clean, healthy green flag racing across the board for the last few races. I mean, the penalty reports have been very short. Everybody's been pretty well behaved out there on the track. So I'm curious to see how we're going to handle with the adjustment to, we've had some very challenging tracks, obviously Darlington, Dover, in recent memory of what we've been to. So these drivers have proven that even on challenging tracks, they can drive clean. And Poc-OH-NO, I imagine, it's just going to get added to the list of another clean, healthy race.
Yeah, and even last week at a dirt track, we had a relatively incident-free race. A couple of cautions later on in the race, but for a dirt track race, it was extremely clean. Really good work by everybody out there. Carlos, I just want to ask you, because we still have 7 minutes, do we want to hop into our sponsor plugs and also our picks right away here?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be a perfect time to do so. But
Wow,
yeah,
Carlos, your voice
yeah,
has changed so much. Okay, anyways.
yeah, we can do
Well-
that exactly. So that is the wrong graphic. Here
All right.
it is. That is what the
Shall I
points
be-
are looking like.
Ew.
There's our broadcaster picks. As you can see, Vic is probably rigging it as he always does. This for legal reasons. This is a joke. No one take this seriously. Anyways, so as you can see, the broadcaster standings are sponsored by Binks Designs. Binks Designs is a local New Jersey graphic design company that specializes in all of your custom apparel and tumbler needs. You can find their website, I believe, in the description of this live stream. Am I correct, Carlos, in saying that?
Yeah, you are correct.
Yes. All right. So you can find them down below. Definitely check them out. They're a big supporter of this league. So Vic, who has got the first pick?
So technically speaking, good old Matty B would be the first pick. I see him in the Discord, so I think I'm just gonna go bother him and pull him up.
All right, you do that.
Gonna hit roulette.
I only have one number prepared, so I'm just fingers crossed he doesn't pick that one.
All right, so Matt, you're the first one to pick, and I already
wow.
spotted it. So who you want for half?
Well, actually, hold up. Hold up. Before we do any of that, we do want to give a shout out to Binks Designs for sponsoring the Binks Designs 2024 A Broadcast Championship. You know, Binks Design is a local New Jersey graphic design company.
I
that's-
said
did
I
that.
said I
You
did
did?
this.
I must have
Carlos,
dozed
are you
off.
okay? Carlos,
Good job. Anyway, Matt.
But
who
still,
you
shout out to them.
Who do I pick? Who do I pick? Who do I pick? Who do I pick? I'm gonna go with the
Cody's
long
driving
shot
tonight.
here. Oh, anyways, I'm gonna go with the long shot here and go Ethan Stanley.
Oh,
Oh, so long.
Yeah, get it? Because, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Feel free to pull me back in here if you need to, perhaps.
Yeah, 5 well.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
there's so much tension.
All right, Trevor, who you want?
Oh, thank God. Okay. I said I had one number prepared for this in a pick, and I forgot who it was. So I'm just going to take the 57.
That's you know what? Actually, that's a really good pick. Garrett, who you want?
I'm gonna take the 9 of James Watson.
Great pick. Carlos, who you want?
give me number 1, Mr. Gavel.
Jeez, y'all are picking on. You guys are gonna leave me nothing.
I'm not sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm not
nothing.
sorry.
You guys are ridiculous.
I have ground to make up.
Well, the drivers, they want Austin Beers. So, again, it's leaving me nothing.
Oh,
And
that's
Goody
what I was gonna
said, Goody said to pull him up when it's his pick. So, Goody, who you got?
Qualify?
Who we got picked? Who we got picked?
You can't pick the 17, 57, 9, 1, and 19.
You can pick yourself.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go. Can I pick? I don't have my sheet in front of me now, but the 8 car of Vincent Isabella.
You can.
All right.
You guys
let's go.
gave me nothing left but okay. Ridiculous. I hate you.
I see
Good
a
luck tonight,
driver
Darn you.
in a certain 5th place spot that could be a good pick.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I really wanted Ethan Stanley, so I kind of wish I didn't pull Matt up now. Man, really don't know who I want. You guys literally took all the good picks, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's how I felt last season. Except you guys didn't pick good picks.
Yeah. You guys left me nothing. Scraps on the table here. I'm gonna go.
I think you take the 14 of Robert Hill.
I definitely not. I'm taking the 73.
All right.
Kenny Jones. I'll go out on a limb.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. That was fantastic. I got something new to show you guys. How about we take a gander
Shiny.
at the point standings? Yay! Whoops! I forgot to turn that off. There we go.
Oh.
And team standings. Okay.
All right.
been a while.
Yeah, as you
Shiny
can
new
see,
things.
a new name at the top there after last week. Dylan Thomas has passed Austin Beers. Austin Beers, I believe, did not race either half last week. So that there was some changes up top because of that. Just outside now, looking in, you have Ryan Gavel, 2 points behind Gilberto. Then also Tristan Millette and David Westergreen and Dave Carpenter all lurking right outside. And then on the team standings, really close up top. Only 13 points in between Shift and Do Good, and then only another 9 points back to South Shore in third. And Weekend Woodsman Racing is also only 5 points back of them. So a really nice battle up top. You don't always see that. Sometimes you have one team running away, so that's nice to see.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be really surprised to see that stay that way for a pretty long time. A lot of these drivers that we've seen, that are in each of those teams up there at the top have consistently been finishing very strong. Have been driving very well. So with a couple more additions potentially of, a good driver that has a better finish. We saw in the point standing Scarborough was on the outside looking in, who has had good runs, has been in positions where, could potentially add more and be in a better position for himself standing in the drivers or in the point standings, but just hasn't had exactly that finesse, that turnout that you really want to see. And something as small as that, where you have a good driver get a very good finish, all of a sudden you're looking at team point standings, and things can very quickly turn with how tight those standings are.
Yeah, for sure. All it takes is one bad night for one team or one really good night from another team, especially since they take the top 2 drivers' results from each team to determine the point standings. Qualifying is wrapping up here, so we do have another plug that we have to say here. Before we play the video, we want to thank Weekend Woodsmen for all that they do for this series. They're a huge sponsor of this league, and they provide so much help and financial support. We encourage you to check out their YouTube video and their YouTube channel, and that will be in the description. They do lots of hunting videos and stuff like that, and we have a little video to play for you right now. Or are we doing the lineup first?
No, we'll do the video. We took too long, but that's fine. We'll do the video. We'll be right back, fellas, and we'll do the lineup again.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
You're hot.
All right, and we are back here. Thanks for watching that little ad right there. And I think we have to do the old school lineup here because I screwed up, so that's my bad. But up top here, we have Ethan Stanley, Ryan Gavel, followed by Vincent Isabella, Richard Garcia. Further down the top 10, Austin Beers, Zach Evans, Dylan Thomas, Dustin Dewar, Jake Scarborough, and Darren Stapp round out the top 10. James, go ahead, Trevor.
No, I was just talking about, Scarborough, again, position starting out top 10, really solid start there for Shift to try to continue to make up some of that ground. But, James Watson, a name that's been up towards the front running pretty well a lot of the season as well. Matt Hackathorn right next to him in that 6th row. So excited to see what those guys are going to do up front there. Now looking to the second page, some of these names have been contenders in some of these races, and some of them haven't really met expectations. What we've seen, we saw Thomas Capuano have the performance of a lifetime last week and is down there in 21st place. So hoping that can find some way to maneuver through traffic here today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It just shows you the difference between, I can't even call this a regular track, it's a triangle, and a dirt track. You see some people are just wheelmen on dirt and they know how to succeed, and Thomas definitely did that. Further down, you have Kynan. Surprising to see him down as low as he is. Robert Hill, Drew Eisenman, Rashid Coles, and then Tim Conrad, OSCA Daddy, rounding up the field tonight. And then, of course, there's that Mike Goodman Jr. guy. I don't know who that is. I know him as Goody. He's starting in 20th tonight, so we'll keep an eye on our broadcasting friend.
Just a little, I love to see all the point standings and the prediction standings and everything, but I'm just curious, why don't we ever bring in the fantasy NASCAR standings? Because I just want to be on top of something for once on a graphic. Like that's all I'm asking.
That's something you have to bring up
on
Vic.
If Vic will approve that, I'll put her on the broadcast.
Might be a long shot, but hey, I'll take what I can get.
I I completely forgot to join the fantasy league, and now it's just too deep into the season that
And no coming back from it now. It's some of these guys out here. They're sweating. And I mean, just as much as you guys are sweating with the weekly picks here, I got a lot of ground to make up. I think I missed the first 2 races, and I'm down 170 points. Last week was not good. I picked Capuano in one of the picks, but did not get him the second time around because he was taken out from underneath me. So a second pick, I think I had Ty McIntosh, did not do me any favors in that other half. So looking for a bounce back here, hopefully.
I'm
My
talking
picks
about
that I had
picks
last week.
Oh, I thought
My picks were terrible.
I thought we were talking about the fantasy, like the NASCAR fantasy thing.
Yeah, Tyler McIntosh drives in the Cup Series, didn't you know?
Yeah, I was. You said. Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, what?
We are going green this time for 20 laps here. Should be a relatively quick race, but we'll see if cautions will rear their ugly head. I'm just checking right now. After we go green, I'll double check here, but it looked Ethan Stanley's bringing us to the green. We are green here for 20 laps at Poc-O-No. Big push from both Garcia and Isabella.
Well, yeah, 20 lap sprint on the first side with a 19-car invert. So, again, looking at some of these guys to drive through traffic, that's going to be an interesting thing. As they go into the first corner, everybody's still side by side. Stanley gets advantage for the start.
And
lots of
sliding, lots of sliding. Austin Beers moves up to second, takes advantage of that, and I was just like, huge wreck in the back. West of green.
There goes the
someone
9.
else is involved.
Oh, we're in the.
Oh, sorry, that's not West of green. That's James Watson. That's my pick.
Take long.
That's unlucky. That's unlucky. I gave him the curse.
Very tough break. Look at the replay. We saw going into the first corner a lot of wiggle room, and they just fanned out immediately. Things got a little crazy, and door to door. Yeah.
I think that might have been netcode.
It looked like it. It might look like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, as hard as you're going left there, I think even if it wasn't netcode, you're still probably going to make contact because that's a significant maneuver there, and you're just trying to put 2 cars in one place. That's a tough break.
Unlucky for James.
Yeah, there's no recovering from that. As soon as you get hit, you're looking at the wall 90 degrees.
Was that Robert Hill that ran into him there at the end?
Yeah, I didn't see who made contact after the fact. The Hackathorn goes down, and then the 21 just escapes it. Moving back up the track, 20 dodges. That makes a little contact.
So it's Peeler that made contact there. Or was that Peeler?
No,
Who's
excuse
the
me.
20?
Sorry, yeah, the 20. Yeah, Adam.
So the 20 is Robert Hill, but he's listed as the 14 on our screens here.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
okay,
what?
so just don't sweat the 14 and 22 numbers. Me, forgot to change them because I was having a week, and it's
all good, all good. We have it figured out
No,
now,
no, it's
so don't
fixed.
worry about it.
Yeah, that looks right. That's probably fine.
14, yes.
That's impressive that you can write that. That's just, you're writing high, technically. That's what
Yeah,
that says.
it took me a while.
I'm impressed. I can't write upside down.
Well, I was gonna say right before we went green, they should be able to make it on fuel in this first half. Next half is a bit longer. They won't be able to make it, but this first half they don't need to worry about fuel, so it's about tire saving. But I know we only really got a corner. It looked like nobody was interested in saving tires at all. They were fanning out 3-4 wide.
Yeah, very quickly. I mean, as soon as you come out of that, especially, seeing those cars up front with a little bit of wiggle, getting a little bit loose, you're expecting all of a sudden some more chaos to break out. So as quickly as they fanned out, you just know that there's going to be some sort of incident that happens. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we got, netcode or not. But either way, it's interesting to what these guys are going to do because of the fact that you already know that there's adjustments to be made because of how they're running and how these cars are wiggling immediately.
Yeah, cold tires, they're going to have to pay attention to that. And also, speaking about netcode or not, it was determined by race control that was Matt Hackathorn's fault. He's been given an EOL, so he's all the way at the back for this restart. Dylan Thomas, our points leader, has moved up to third. You can see his red banner. If you haven't been around the past couple of weeks or haven't been paying attention to the season, we have a red banner on the points leader every single week, so we know, us idiots up here know what's going on. So Dylan Thomas is up in third place for this upcoming restart. They are going to go green this time. Vic shortened the yellow for us.
Very convenient to see a bright red banner, so I know exactly what I'm looking at.
Yes, that's right. Also, Carl
See,
circling
people criticize whether this would work.
Gee, I can probably do it one better.
It works spectacularly.
No, I did it, so you don't have to, Carlos.
I'm sure there's just certain paint designers that would be angry if their driver was first place one week and not the next week. I'm talking about a certain Seth Rawls would not like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
pace truck is off here. Ethan Stanley's going to lead him back to green with Austin Beers now on his outside. Gets a great jump. And I don't think Austin Beers is going to have enough help from behind to get beside him.
Yeah, across the line, they're already starting to spread out a little bit. You see 4 wide here going into the first corner. He's finally going to tuck back in there in the back of the pack. But Stanley does clear off of that restart and getting back through to see if I see anyone getting loose up track at all. But nothing too crazy. A couple puffs of smoke, but everybody survived so far.
A much cleaner restart. I think they learned their lesson about the cold tires. Also, tires are probably a bit more warm this time. And we're already pretty much single file the entire way through.
And now it's a matter of who's going to be able to try to find a line that works, where they're going to be running at, and how we're going to be able to manage to get themselves caught up to the next car in front to be able to make a good pass out of this one. And that's the biggest challenge, really, is trying to find those grooves that you can get to work for you and maybe try to find something different that someone else isn't doing to try to make up those lost seconds.
That's going to be the big thing in this half as well, combined with tire wear, because of the fact that there's going to be no pitch strategy, really. It's going to be about deciding when it's time to make your move and being patient. See, we have a couple of passes being made here, and I think we're having some issues with our broadcast.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's just
the fog. The fog moved back in.
The fog came back.
You guys can't see what's going on. The viewers can see perfectly fine.
All right. Anyways, we have a pass for second here. Gavel on the inside of Austin Beers. He's not going to be able to clear him, and Beers is going to have help from Dylan Thomas on the straightaway.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. Just trying to find that opportunity, looking for someone to make a move, try to find a partner, get in their draft, try to push them down the straight to, hey, pull me along with you so I can try to get up there. But right now it's that fight for second place because Ethan Stanley with the second lead on the rest of these cars is they're all just fighting for position. They're just letting Stanley continue to expand this gap.
Yeah, Ethan Stanley, it's got to be loving what he's seeing in his mirrors right now, especially since the people that are battling are two very fast drivers, Austin Beers and Ryan Gavel. Also see Richard Garcia currently trying to make a move on Jake Scarborough.
Yeah, trying to drive it in a little bit more. Had a bit of a run off that last corner down on that low side, but couldn't quite make it to stick because Scarborough got more speed coming out of it, but still trying to find their angle, looking to potentially take this one 3 wide, but Garcia's going to have to tuck back in, block, and shut that door before trying to go back low again.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Sorry to cut you off. I think that was a 27. Yes. I think he just got hooked.
Yeah, running 11th was good. I saw him lurking back there. Was kind of excited. I was like, well, maybe that might be running pretty well like that. Might be a sleeper for that second half, but have to check the replay to see exactly what happened to him. But he was lurking just outside that top 10.
He looks pretty well unaffected on his camera there. Not the emotion we're looking for. Come on, give us a show, Peeler. But we'll have to look at the replay here and see exactly what happened. I think I heard Alex Kenton apologize. And yeah, it looks like that Alex tried to get into line and there wasn't enough room.
Yeah, was not clear of that bumper. And yeah, like you said, just hooked him, went down low. And so as soon as you're turning that direction, you're looking at that inside wall. It's going that fast. There's no way you're going to save that one. Look at it from his view, and you see right there just the wheel well, caught the quarter panel, and off he went.
Yeah, I think he thought that he could fit in between Peeler and Capuano, but that gap closed quicker than he was expecting.
Yeah, I gotta respect the attempt at least. I mean, you try to get in because you see a lot of this with these guys up front as well, trying to tuck into the corner, and yeah, that's just hoping that you can find, and you're clear on the back bumper, but another foot and you're fine up front, but unfortunately just can't get there, and sends a 27 off, sends out our second caution.
And 2 cautions early in this one. We're not even halfway yet, so we'll see how this is going to affect the rest of the race, because now they're going to be doing about 4 or 5 laps under yellow, and that means that the tires are not going to be wearing nearly as much as we expected by the end of this 20 laps.
Yeah, it might make some more opportunity there towards the end of this half where some guys could find some more opportunity to drive a little bit. That 1 second lead Ethan Stanley had, that is evaporated going back into the restart. And these guys, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 place that were fighting for that second place spot. Now, okay, Stanley's reeled back in. How are we going to be able to take that away and take up spot number 1? Well, we're going to pits.
We have takers for tires?
Ooh,
No.
Never
Oh, man, we do have
Psych.
one. Garcia's going in. We also have, I believe that was Tyler McIntosh and Vincent Isabella I saw going down. Yeah, we have a handful.
Got a few of them, yeah.
But they had me fooled. I thought they were all going in.
They have me fooled too. I'm pretty
Playing
mad.
mind games. That's, I mean, gotta respect it because those guys, I mean, if Stanley's pitting for those tires, you already can't keep up with them. Those guys behind him are going to want to pit too. So the fact that, you know, he fakes, it's just a matter of playing the reaction to get out in time so you don't hit that commitment cone, and you'd be all right. But those guys up front staying out, holding on, knowing that the tire wear right now, but everybody else in the pack taking these fresh tires, put themselves hopefully in a position where they can move a little bit faster, get up through traffic.
Yeah, and Richard Garcia was the highest taker. I believe he was 6th place there when he entered the pits, and he's come out in 14th. So we'll see if those tires have enough of an effect. Do we know if they took 2 or 4, Carlos? Do you have a graphic that shows us that, or no?
I might be able to have something. You just give me.
Yeah, no worries. Anyway, I wonder if there's going to be enough of a difference.
No, my graphic is busted. I forgot.
All good, all good. I just don't know. I just don't know if the 6 green flag laps are going to make enough of a difference.
Slightest inconvenience, I'm going to drop that every single time because it just works. It's A1 Premiere. Good job. It's great marketing. Carlos, you came up with that, right?
Sorry?
The Poc-OH-NO? That was Carlos, right?
That was Carlos who really wanted me to say it, yeah.
No,
I'm a coward.
I'm all for it.
When I first started broadcasting OSCA, we didn't have all these fancy race sponsors. So I asked Vic, what are we going to call these names? And he's like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's up to me to fix the day again. So I went and I started naming all these broadcasts. Like, one of my favorites is Atlanta. I called it the Where Have My Tires Gone 150 or whatever number it was called. Which is also the famous race where Johnny Eckert self-spun on pacing on half number 2, and I didn't catch it, and then decided to brag about how I didn't catch it during his winning interview, and I showed it to him. Nice. So yeah, so I've been naming a bunch of these names, these race names, and then lately I've been having less and less chances to do so because we've had race sponsors that want to give money to the organization. So finally, this season is the first
how
one.
horrible.
No, 130, where I finally get to name it. And unfortunately, I forgot, Ty McIntosh told me this. I had already used this name before, so I'm actually a little bit peeped at myself when he told me. I was like, no.
Oh, no.
I hope you got one ready for Auto Club in a few weeks.
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
Excuse me?
workshop it,
That's
yeah.
topical.
Perfect.
Well, we are about to go back green here. It'll be halfway. We still have Ethan Stanley leading, and Austin Beers still in 2nd place. We'll see if they've learned from Stanley's restart that last time. We'll also see if Stanley switches it up. And we'll also have to keep an eye on the likes of Richard Garcia and Tyler McIntosh to see how quickly they're able to make their way up through the field. after those pit stops. And Vincent Isabella as well, another notable name that has fresh tires.
Just drop some lighter fluid on my gas.
Oh,
Oh boy.
I have many questions, but we can cover that at a later time. I am curious to see as the pace truck goes off how these guys that did pit for tires are going to move through traffic. And if these guys up front are going to be able to keep Stanley in, he's already got a great jump off the rip, crossing the line, already has a full car length. And now we'll see who's going to start to fan out. You see the 57 dip to the bottom line there in the back, looking for some more action, getting the draft, obviously favoring that low line. But Stanley going into the first corner once again, a few car lengths behind him.
Perhaps more importantly is that it's Ryan Gavel. Ryan Gavel was able to complete that pass relatively easily. He was trying that entirely the last run, but he's got Austin Beers coming right back at him here going into the tunnel.
There's a pretty good push there into turn 2 and is keeping them bumper to bumper, still trying to hold on to this draft, not let Ethan Stanley get out of the grasp. But yeah, Beers right here on this one. Gonna dive low, look for this, does have a little bit there, is gonna be able to hold on to that quarter panel to come out of this one, or is the speed up top gonna be just enough for Gavel? And it's like trying to tuck in, maybe a little bit of contact there, but it's still gonna hold pretty steady in this 2-3, but that was enough for Stanley to put another wide. Yes, Stanley put another almost 0.2 of a second there after that lap.
So a bit of action for second right away. We'll see if they maybe calm down a little bit and try and keep Stanley within their grasp for later on in the run. You see Garcia's already moved up to 11th there. And Tyler McIntosh as well up to 13th. So a couple positions gained early on here on this restart.
Pretty good onboard view.
Darren Stapp here, trying to chase down Tristan Millette for 7th.
Hold that line pretty strong. See Zach Evans up a couple positions in front in that 6. There's a little bit of distance between him and Jake Scarborough in that about a quarter second, but hold on to this one. It doesn't have a lot of help behind. As you see, Darren Stapp is going to dive low, try to take that position away from Millette. Zach Evans, I'm sure, looking at the distance behind and distance in front, looking for some sort of help. But this single file is trying to stay in the draft, trying to keep this group at least close enough to you.
And Ryan Gavel has been able to pull away from Austin Beers just a little bit, but also reel in Ethan Stanley just a little bit. So we'll see if now that he's kind of free from that charge from Austin Beers, if he's able to do something for the lead.
He has to find that line to get to work. Seen Stanley do very well around the first third of the track. Looking for what we're going to have here on the backside, because that's where you're going to be able to make up this ground, because coming out of 3 on this straight, going into 1, Ethan Stanley seems to be faster than everybody else, and Kynan looks like lost it and ended up in the pit.
Not sure what happened there.
Yeah. A little bit of
he had damage. The lap prior, he got into the wall off 3, I believe. I believe it was an incident between him and the 95. So he sped with it and tried to melt it.
make a break there. Kynan. Someone picked Kynan, right?
I think that
was me.
Oh,
was I?
Yeah.
We have Austin Beers under pressure from Dylan Thomas here going into the tunnel turn.
Red banner threatening to make this
turn
pass.
3.
Trying to find a way to get past this one. Jake Scarborough on the outside is trying to reel in Austin Beers to be able to get on his bumper. Maybe try to hold on to this position. Send Thomas back one, but for the time being, going to be locked side by side going into this first corner. And
this is allowing Zach Evans to catch up as well.
And of course, again, all this racing, Ethan Stanley looking in the rearview mirror, just happy to see all these guys fighting for this position while he continues to try and increase this lead up to half a second now over Ryan Gavel.
Yeah, he's been able to pick up his pace a little bit here, and Ryan Gavel, even without the battle, hasn't been able to keep up.
Put a little bit more emphasis on getting around this track. Let's make up a little bit of time there in turn 3, but coming out of this one and going into 1 is where Stanley's done so well. But
And
still,
how about,
look back.
fresh tires, Garcia's up to 6 now.
Yeah. Eldron started, what, 14th on that restart with now 6th place, 5 to go. Picking them off one by one.
You can see how much more grip and confidence he has.
On the
Beers in the
outside.
wall. It's a party foul.
Beers lost pace, too.
Making a move.
And lost a lot of speed on that one. Beers tucks back in, and Garbo had a little bit run, but Beers just wanted to get that momentum back and not get left in the dirt. But see Garcia take that 5th place position.
So Garcia has now surpassed where he was before he pit, so this has been a great move for him.
Yeah, good maneuver. Like you said, with that tires, the confidence up there, trying to run it outside, trying to make these passes towards that outside lane, but running single file still on that back bumper of Austin Beers. Just a matter of time before you make that opportunity to strike.
Is it going to be here? No. Beers
Oh,
is going to
man.
be
We're blocking everywhere.
That might have been a bit of a late block, but we'll see if Garcia gives him some patience here. It looks like he's going to get underneath him here going down the back straightaway.
Those get under, has enough to stay door to door, looking to clear the next corner, hopefully. Still side by side, fighting for this spot.
Beers is going to wash up here, and Garcia has got him, and now Jake Scarborough is looking underneath the Beers as well. Zach Evans is going to follow him through.
That Beers just got hung out to dry there. Could not get back in. They're going to follow that air on the bottom side, following Richard Garcia. He's going to take over that 4th place and has now got his eye set on the red banner in front of him. Half a second up with 3 to go. Got some ground to cover, but certainly the way that he's been running can certainly do it.
Now we also got Vincent Isabella, who's also one of the people who took tires on that last restart, on that last caution that is, and he's up to 7th place as well, so another hard charger to the front here with a couple laps to go.
You're looking at the lap times, too. These guys that did go into the pits, they're running still in the mid-54s. Everybody else pushing 55. So they've got at least some decent time here that they can make up. Just a matter of getting by, making those passes. We saw, and we have seen through many races, that these guys up here in the top 6, top 7, even including Austin Beers, they don't make passing easy. They certainly make you fight for every position that you're going to get.
And that's the beauty of having drivers up front, that even when they're on we have contact, between Darren Stapp and Tyler McIntosh off in the corner. It looks like they were able to keep it collected. I'm not sure if Darren was unaware of how close Ty was to him.
Yeah, there was a point there, it looked like they were trying to go 3 wide, but kept it at least 2 side by side, and these 2 wide for this one. Capuano's going to sneak in here. Didn't qualify very well, but now he's up in at least a decent position, fighting to get towards that top 10.
And Capuano, I believe, was one of the ones that also took tires as well. So it looks like short pitting is going to be a move for the next half. Something that these drivers will definitely be keeping in mind. So we're kind of up to 1 to go here, and Garcia is now right on Dylan Thomas for a potential podium finish. As you can see on the bottom left-hand corner of your broadcast there, and we go full screen with it. And also, Gavel is now close to 2/10 on Stanley.
I don't know, maybe they were lurking and just saving, or if Stanley's let off a little bit. But with the white flag down, 2.5 miles to go, see the intervals there, and they're starting to make up that time. Garcia does end up on the board making the pass, see if he can make it stick.
And he
Hold
has
on to
cleared
that 3rd place position, and now he is on the hunt. He's the pedal to the floor. He's making up ground very quickly on that 1 car.
It's going to come down to a last lap move, or last corner move for Gavel if he wants to get by Ethan Stanley. And Garcia's lurking.
Oh, he got tight. Oh, he's in the wall.
Oh, and he got into the wall. I think Garcia joined him. And that's going to probably give Ethan Stanley the win, but Garcia's going to make a move for 2nd here. We also have Vincent Isabella lurking right behind Dylan Thomas.
Yeah, tough break for Gavel to hit the wall on that one, to come out, see if he can hold on to this. But Garcia made an incredible run there, but Ethan Stanley just held on to the control for the entire time. That's just unfortunate for Ryan Gavel. Tried to drive it in, was right there trying to close that gap. I think it was down to almost a 1/10 of a second, just over it, and almost had Ethan Stanley in his sights before the unfortunate contact. But yeah, like you mentioned, that short pit strategy worked out very well for the likes of Richard Garcia and Vincent Isabella, for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely be interested to see what they can do here in this next half, especially since they're going to have to go all the way back to 19th, I believe, is where Ethan Stanley is going to start. I believe we've been 19-car invert. So that means that Tim Conrad, OSCA Daddy, is going to go from starting last in the first half to starting first in the second half.
That's right where he wants to be. He's a perfect bookend. Now the mild panic sets in because I did seconds of research to pick a number for my first half pick, and now I have seconds of research to make my second half pick too. So
Seconds of research?
Oh yeah, almost maybe 15.
Well, I can give you some time here as I give the Binks Design plug again here. So just a reminder that Binks Design here, they are sponsoring the Broadcaster Championship for this season. They're a local New Jersey graphic design company that specializes in all of your custom apparel and tumbler needs. Before we do our picks, we're going to go ahead and look at the final results, I think, from this half.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we can do exactly just.
Yeah, I think we have enough time.
I would love that. It would help me with my seconds of research. I'm not panicking at all, I promise.
So winning in the first half, Ethan Stanley, Richard Garcia with that crazy drive after that restart on the fresh tires second. Finishing off your top 5, you have Gavel, Thomas, and Isabella, and then the rest of your top 10 is Scarborough, Beers, Evans, McIntosh, and Capuano. Further down, Tristan Millette, Darren Staff, Dustin Dewar, our good friend Mike Goodman, or Goody, in 14th, Ray Bracey in 15th, Caden Tufts, Alex Henn, and Brent Jones bring up 15th through 18th, and then finishing off the field, you have Tim Conrad, who will be starting on pole for the next half, Matt Hackathorn, who was involved in that incident early and took an EOL, never really recovered, Dave Carpenter, Rashid Coles, Adam Pillar, Robert Hill Jr., Kynan Jones, James Watson, and Drew Eisenman. Did Drew not start because James Watson wrecked on the first lap? So I'm wondering if Drew
did not start.
Yeah. That's unfortunate out of that, but I mean, looking at where those guys were down there, a lap plus down, just unfortunate victims of incidents that they had on the track and looking for a bounce back. I mean, we mentioned Peeler was in 11th place there on the outside looking in. Trying to get into that top 10 before he inadvertently got hooked on that inside wall. So certainly have the opportunity to make that bounce back there in the second half.
Let's do some picks.
Alrighty.
I know it's rushing this, but yeah, I want to have enough time for this. Cherry, you go first because our picks sucked.
Yeah, no, we kind of got hosed a little bit. Hold on, I just want to make sure I can make the pick I want to make. 1 second. Actually, you let me know. Can I take Ethan Stanley here?
Yeah, you can take the 17.
Alright, I'm taking Ethan Stanley.
That is a safe pick. So my I'm never gonna be able to pick him because I already picked a 66, so that kind of sucks. But I'm just gonna pick somebody that I think is actually going to do quite well, and I'm gonna pick the 52. Crap, too. So unfortunately, I don't get to pick Goody, which kind of sucks because I already used that pick.
It's not a bad pick, though.
And the driver's pick is up next, and they unanimously want the 8 car.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
No, great pick. They're using up the 8 car though. I don't know how I would use it up right now. See, up next is Goody, so we're gonna have to pull him up.
Don't burn me now, Goody.
All right, Goody, who you got for half 2, buddy?
Who's picked?
The 52, the 8, and the 17 are picked.
A super fan pick? What was it? 52? What was it again?
52, 8, 17 are the only ones you can't pick right now.
The 66
and obviously
is
whoever
available,
else.
and he finished top 15 in the first half.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Can I pick Ryan Gable in the 1 car?
You can.
I wish you
All right, let's
wouldn't.
go with it.
Yeah, yeah, I wish you wouldn't.
Yeah, now I'm definitely want to do it now.
All right. Good luck.
Well,
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
And up next is you, Carlos. So who you got for half 2, buddy?
I get the number 57. I'm gonna have a fantastic half number 2.
For the 57.
Also a really good pick.
That is a really, really good pick. Trevor, who you got?
Well, I really wanted the one, but I don't know what happened. I. You know what? I'll take the 19. Give me beers.
You got it. Let's pull Matty B up here. Now that we've hosed all the good picks.
And for those watching wondering why I'm writing these numbers in, the lower the number, the worse they did in the first half.
Yeah, thanks for letting the viewers know that I screwed up in the first half. Appreciate that, Carlos.
Matt, you who you got?
Who's been picked?
You can't pick the 52. You can't pick the 1, the 8, the 57, 17, or 19.
52, the 1, 57, 19, blah, blah. Didn't remember any of those numbers.
Give a pick and I'll tell you if you can pick them. How about that?
Okay then, brother. 1757 1. I don't want to pick that. Ty McIntosh.
You gonna go with the person you're spotting for?
Guess so. Seems like best available to me.
That is some bias if I've ever seen it.
All the guys I wanted are gone.
Well, now you know how I felt. Payback, man.
It's like that meme where, you know, like cheating at horse gambling, where I put an earpiece in the horse's ear so I can tell him what to do, go faster. So what you're doing with Ty right now.
Yeah, like, come on, I picked you, damn it. Let's go, move it.
You're gonna see some aggressive spotting out of the 95 car in the second half.
Yeah, we're gonna be chopping people, and if Tyler does
Promise
anything
you're
bad,
clear. You're good.
if he does anything bad, you can blame it on me.
All right. Well, we got to go for the lineup here, so we're going to say goodbye to you. All right. Starting on pole for second half, Tim Conrad. Second is Brent Jones. I do know we have to do a sponsor read. We'll do that after this. Alex Kenton starting in third place. Caden Tufts in fourth. Going on to row 3, we have Ray Bracey and then our friend Michael Goody in sixth. Down in row 4, in 7th place, we have Dustin Dewar and Darren Stapp. And then in the 5th row, rounding out the top 10, we've got Tristan Millette and Thomas Capuano. You want to take it going forward from here, Trevor?
Sure. Look at that. Coming outside of the top 10. Ty McIntosh right there, looking for redemption from last week alongside Zach Evans, who was trying to find a little bit of better half here. Started in 13th. Austin Beers, the pick I made myself. And Jake Scarborough alongside had a pretty solid run there in that first half, looking to continue to move through traffic. Vincent Isabella, one of those early pitters, had a good finish. Unfortunately, finds in 15th after the invert. Dylan Thomas alongside. Ryan Gavel, 17th, and Richard Garcia, the one that ended up with the best finish after that short pit strategy in the first half, starting in 18th. And, of course, the first half winner, Ethan Stanley, right there in 19th, with Matt Hackathorn starting 20th in that early incident that he had in that first half.
And then finishing out the field here, we got Dave Carpenter at 21st, Rashid Coles at 22nd. Down in row 12, we have Adam Peeler and Robert Hill Jr. Row 13, we've got Kynan Jones and James Watson. And then starting in last place for this half is Drew Eisman, who might not actually be here, but we do have to do a quick video here before we go green. I think we have time. So just check out Weekend Woodsmen and their YouTube channel. Their link is below. They do lots of hunting stuff, and they're really cool. All right, Carlos, hit the video.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
And we're back.
All right. Sorry to Weekend Woodsman if you feel chipped there. We just had to get that in quickly. Make sure you guys check out their YouTube channel. They are big supporters of the series. As you can see, they are the title sponsor for this series, and they do a lot of help. And they have lots of admins also helping out in the league. So we're about to go green here. Tim Conrad, the owner of Weekend Woodsman, funnily enough, is starting on pole here alongside Brent Jones. I'm interested to see how long it's going to take for the likes of Ethan Stanley, Richard Garcia, Vincent Isabella, Ryan Gavel to make their way back up to the front here.
Oh, we got no Chevys in the field, I just realized.
No Chevys.
No Chevrolets.
And we are green. Tim Conrad gets a decent jump, but Brent Jones is right beside him.
Already starting to fan out, much like we saw in the first half. You see up there 32 laps in this one, so we will have some pit windows, some pit strategy that's going to come through in this one. Probably wouldn't take too long to see it if we're going to go 4 wide into every corner like this.
And we have a wreck already. That's
no.
Goodman.
Oh,
Goodman.
no, they're collecting the field.
Oh, Ethan
boy.
Stanley. Oh, boy.
Hey, it's going to be a shorter list of who wasn't involved than it was who was. Good Lord.
We're being told 6-car replay right now. Zach Evans wants us to look at his replay. But I should really stop picking people. It's 2 races in a row where lap 1 they're out.
Yeah, you thought we would have learned something after the first incident in the first half, but we'll take a look at the replay to see who all was collected and where all of this started. But obviously everybody going very wide here in this corner. See who ended up being the first victim up there. Looks like Hackathorn got sideswiped, got into somebody else on the high side. And after that, it's just a matter of hold on.
Oh,
that was a 7, not the 4.
You know, I don't mean to be mean to Zach,
Very
but that wasn't as exciting of a replay as I thought. He
No,
kind of
that's
just
pretty
came to a
exciting.
stop.
I don't know what you're.
He just came to a stop. I don't know.
Look at the 19.
Yeah, the 32 got up into the 7, and then after that, yeah, they're just spinning everywhere.
Wait, who
Goody's
did I pick?
involved, Isabella.
Bayek, did your guy make it through there?
Yeah, he was fine. I wanted to say, I was going to say watch Beers, but Trevor already did that. And also watch the 52.
All right, watching Jake Scarborough in the second here. Yeah, it looks like it was a chain reaction. I think Dewar got up into Ray Bracey, and then that just pushed him up. And then the track was blocked.
Austin Beers did the Days of Thunder right there. Just waited for the road to clear, and off he went. Good Lord.
19 on board.
Yeah, you just see all of a sudden the turn.
Oh, man.
Darren.
And off he goes.
I also
Like Moses parting the Red Sea.
I picked the 57. I think he also got through this, I think, unscathed.
Oh, impressive. Those, yeah, just tucked in right behind Beers. Slowed down enough.
Oh, Dylan Thomas
man.
almost got through.
Wow.
Sorry, who else? Goody, is it?
52.
No, 32?
52.
52.
Scarborough
Where
Jake.
is the 52? I see him right here.
after 51.
You're fired.
No, you can't fire me mid-race.
You don't even
Whoa.
hire Trevor.
Oh.
That's Vic.
Yeah, wow.
Parting
That's
of
shooting the gap right
seas.
there. Good Lord. That's
There's Adam Peeler's on board.
some drive. This might be one of the best places to be down there on the low side and just far enough back that nothing's going to happen.
And then he ran
unfortunately.
into the wall.
Yeah,
and
you
Vincent
can't see
Isabella.
anything through the smoke. That's a tough break. Peeler twice in a row, 2 halves, caught up in incidentals. This is where it all started up here on the 7. He got tapped on the inside, got sent high, and then just started spinning. We saw Scarborough just skirt by. Wow.
Oh, my. I think we have like maybe a dozen cars that don't have damage from that.
Yeah, Goody couldn't do anything about that. Just run on the high side, got blindsided and hooked. Yeah, there's going to be a lot on the damage report after that one for sure.
Yeah, be interesting to see. We did have people like Vincent Isabella and Ethan Stanley.
Man, Thomas almost got out of that too. Just
Oh, our
unfortunately
points
clipped
leader.
the 7. Yeah. Just clipped the 7, Bracey, going through that one. So a little bit of damage on the front end, but probably lucky it wasn't any more than that.
But this does open up for a new winner this half.
On board Robert Hill.
Oh,
Right.
just ran out
He
of
should
space.
be okay. He should be okay.
Yeah. Pretty
What else do we
low
have?
speed impact.
I think we've already. I don't think we did the gyro cam. We did do video. That's right.
Yeah. And he's minding his own business up there, and all of a sudden, looking at
We got
traffic.
1 degree.
Yeah. This track? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Just giving you a heads up, buddy.
I
Oh
appreciate it.
no.
What's wrong?
Oh no.
Poc-OH-NO.
Just that incident. The whole thing, all those drivers that are looking for a good
Oh, yeah,
finish,
the
and all of a sudden,
Oh, no.
yeah, that'll do it. Everything's fine. This is fine.
So what we missed with all that was Caden Tufts passed Tim Conrad for the lead, so now he will be controlling the start.
The lights are off on the truck, so we'll see what this restart does look like. These guys all starting to come back around with the damage being dealt with, and see if we get through the first corner. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll see.
50-50?
they did learn last half after the initial start. I was hoping that they would keep that learning for this half, but I have faith. I have faith. I think they can do it. Awesome Beer's already up into what will be 7th place once the ticker corrects, I believe. So he's definitely the one to watch right now. Ryan Gavel also up in 9th place, and Garcia is 10th, I think. Yes.
Yeah, right there, 5th row. But much alike the first half. 1 lap before we get the caution, and now the lights off, looking for our restart. See if we're going to make it a few more laps. Our second caution came out immediately after the first caution in the first half, so fingers crossed. Make it a little bit farther.
They made it about 2 laps, so the goal is 3 here.
That's not asking for a lot, but maybe it is.
Nico Green King gets a great jump. Tim got a bit bogged down there, but he's getting pushed by his teammate Alex Kenton on the high side.
That great jump there, able to clear the high side, get a quarter second, and move up. And we're 4 wide again.
Look at Ryan Gavel underneath of Beers. He backs out of it smartly.
Yeah.
And we're 3 wide. Brent Jones is going to wash up into... Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Dodge. Everybody hold still. All right, so we made it. A third of a lap, maybe.
We've completed 2 corners of green flag racing this half.
Yeah. That's more than one. One more corner, we've got a full lap.
That's true. That's true. So I think what happened here was Jones just ran out of room. He washed up into Tim.
Yeah. Wish it was a little too tight.
Yeah. Tim's apologizing, but that's not Tim's fault. Just trying a bit too hard there on the start.
Damn, the wheel's up. That's how bad the suspension is broken.
Yeah, that's gone.
Right there.
That's a hard lake too, right there on that wall. That's a ton of damage that you're not going to recover from. On board with it, just you see the car just start to get away from you, moving up out of that groove, and yeah.
Hard hit as well.
Ow! Yeah, that hurts.
And just barely avoided collecting other people in the rear there.
Yeah, fortunate to take that bounce far enough into the track that everybody else can dodge out of that one, especially seeing these incidents at the front of the pack, and you just know how dangerous it could be for everybody else to get collected. We just saw it happen, but little contact, tries to go down. McIntosh preemptively tried to get out of the way of that one, but too little too late.
You know,
fortunately didn't get taken with him.
His spotter did say that Tyler is going to be driving more aggressive this half because he was his pick. I'm just saying, maybe Tyler Jedi mind trick Brent Jones.
Yeah, close it was with Beers.
Yeah, Beers just got by. We're just right behind this one. Oh, just misses the back bumper of McIntosh there, too.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse if
yeah. It caved in that front end, and all of a sudden your arrow is shot, but gets out unscathed once again. And I'm not saying that Beers might want to consider getting a lottery ticket, but that's 2 incidents in a row where the skin of your teeth, you're out.
Well, his lottery ticket is now he gets to line up 3rd for this next restart after starting as far back as he did for this half.
That's pretty good. Now, a lot of cars moving up very quickly because of that first incident.
Looks like Tyler has enough damage that he is electing to pit. I think there's a couple others joining him as well.
Yeah.
James Watson.
What did we decide the fuel window was? 23, 24?
23 laps.
All right. Maybe with a little bit of saving, these guys might be able to make it. Maybe they're banking on some more cautions or something like that, and they might be going for a long con here, but they could be going for a single pit strategy if this is it.
I don't think banking on more yellows is a bad idea based off of what we've seen so far.
Yeah. Well, this might be might be the long con strategy to some of these guys. Obviously, there's some damage being dealt with on a handful of them, trying to make up some lost ground because we've already had a lot of damage reported on this second half with the 6 laps we've accomplished, or 2 corners we've accomplished, plus the caution.
I mean, we're not going to be going green till about 24 to go, so that's only 1 lap they have to save. Like, that's very doable at this track.
Absolutely, it is.
So we'll see. Also see if the tire difference makes a huge advantage for those drivers, like it did in the first half as well. Especially with less cars to drive for now, because of all the shall we call them casualties from the first lap incident.
That's an appropriate descriptor. I mean, it just you think you're fine, and then everybody in front of you is not, and now you're part of that list, and it's an unfortunate situation for you to be in because that's just not how you want to start your race at all. You'd at least like to see some success, but I mean, I guess if I'm getting knocked out, I'd rather be knocked out early than knocked out on the last lap.
Yeah, I save some time that way at least. So I think we should be getting 1 to go this time. We'll see if the lights go off on the pace truck. And they do. So 1 to green here. As you mentioned, Caden Tuff's still the leader here. Austin Beers up to 3rd. Darren Stapp flipping 4th. Jake Scarborough 6th. Ryan Gavel not making up as much as his competitors, but he's up in 7th. He just needs some green flag laps to make up some more time, honestly.
Yeah, if those guys that were front runners in that first half get some time under green, I imagine they'll start to be picking off this traffic and get themselves back up to that front side. But I mean, putting themselves in a position where they didn't get involved in that first incident, and hopefully, with minimal damage, if they did get at least some scraps out of it. But where they're at currently, on the fringe, if not in the top 10, I mean, these guys are poised in a perfect position with 25 laps to go. They got plenty of time to get themselves up there and fight for a good race. It's just a matter of when are they going to decide to start their pit strategies, because obviously they're going to have to, but it's a matter of who's going to be the first to take.
I think this is a race where you want to pit early based off of what we saw in the first half. So you don't want to be waiting for someone else to make that move and then get caught, because 1 lap around here is a very long time. So we'll see what happens here. We're just about to get going green here. You see a couple drivers warming up their tires. And how bold do we think Austin Beers is going to be here on this start?
I imagine you at least get through the first corner. I mean, we've seen his cars fast. He's moving pretty quick compared to everybody else around. But I mean, looking at the 45, the 52, the 57 right behind, that outside line is going to be moving pretty quick as well. So if I'm Beers, I'm trying to clear this front row as fast as I possibly can to start to put some distance between me and that outside row.
Sounds like a good idea. We'll see what happens here. Caden Tubbs gets a good start. He is going to be able to clear Tim Conrad, and Austin Beers is also going to be in front of Conrad. He might be able to clear him by the corner. He does. Garcia's moving around as well, as you mentioned, trying to make some moves.
Garcia's favored that inside line, so not surprised to see him dive back down in there. And right behind the 1 car, Ryan Gavel. See Jake Scarborough trying to fight in the middle as well, but can't find anything to work. And Beers on this back bumper of Caden Tufts, looking to make this pass on the straight. He's going to get at least inside. We'll have this angle on the corner. This is exactly what Austin Beers probably would like to do. Get in front, get this clean air, and let everybody else start scrapping for position, much like Ethan Stanley saw happen in the front
Alex
side.
Kenton has other ideas. We're 3 wide. I think
14.
Beers is going to have the momentum, though.
Yeah, he tried to drive it in. I respect the effort.
Caden Tufts with the switchback.
They're going to get in. Now you got Gavel, the 1 side by side, 3 wide right behind him. It's Darren Stop. Big Scarborough going door to door.
Oh!
Scarborough gets tagged. Ooh, and takes Garcia in.
There
That caution's going to be out.
Checkup that I don't think the 52, or excuse me, I don't think the 45 saw, and the 52 came down to kind of avoid the checkup. But let's take a look at that replay.
I think of note, I think Caden Tufts did have the lead at the time that the yellow came out, so he did get that back on the straightaway there.
Way to take that one back. But yeah, obviously fighting pretty strong up there. Ryan Gavel there trying to block, not let this get too crazy behind. But yeah, 45-52. We're side by side, very close proximity. That's
Garcia was involved, yes, and Zach Evans. It looks like Darren Stapp might have washed up. We'll have to get I would like a different replay here.
Let me go back up just because that angle kind of looks like Stapp went up.
Yeah, we'll need a different replay here.
Pause it. Let's get a camera
you see
angle
that Mountain Dew car right there, Darren Stapp.
Let's see what happened here. It looks like Scarborough actually came down a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Wait for the reaction off of this one car.
Yeah, over here.
Obviously, they're starting to get, yeah.
Oh, no,
14 is moving real quick.
Down a little.
I think that was a bit of Jake coming down and Darren coming up.
Yeah, they just got together.
Darren was trying to make room for his arc into the corner, and Jake was trying to avoid whatever was going on between Conrad and Kenton there. So
it's a good reaction by Hackathorn, though. I mean, he sees this happening and makes his way down below. And after this point as well, Dylan Thomas does a good job to avoid this and not get caught up, too.
Oh, there's my race pick right there.
Unfortunate
six cars had nowhere to go.
This is starting
Zach
to look
Evans
like...
had a really good first half and looked like to capitalize on a good second half.
Yeah.
I don't know
that
if Vic
was
is here to give his thoughts on this incident.
I believe Race Control is trying to come up with an answer right now, so we'll give them some time.
I got you.
Okay.
I just found the replays that I wanted. Yeah, it's going to be a racing deal. It's on both the 45 and 57, so, or 52 or
52. Yeah.
And
that's a whole deal
Pit
there.
stops?
Might have some
deal.
takers
Pit
here.
stops!
Oh, what a late dive. Beers is in. Caden Tuff stays out. Interesting.
Yeah, these guys theoretically should be in the fuel window now so they can make it for the rest of the way.
You see everybody pit other than the top four.
Yeah.
Oh, Kynan overshot his stall.
See the guys going in.
Oh, contact there.
Making a quick move out. Yeah, hello. A little frisky out there on pit lane.
And
Isabella coming out.
Did some people take two?
Yeah, Kynan Jones
lost a
actually,
Beers
not
lost
even two.
A lot.
Kynan
Splash
Jones
and
and
go.
James Watson, who were the first two out, they had 5.5 second pit stop times. That's telling me fuel only. Ryan Gavel, Vincent Isabella, Ty McIntosh, they had 9-second pit stops. Excuse me, Vincent Isabella had a 5-second pit stop. So those two drivers were right side tires only. Everybody else was 4 tires, and possibly.
And that might be part of that group that pit. 5-6 laps ago that got 4 in tires. So that might be now where exactly they played in to their strategy, where they know more than likely we're going to see some more cautions, like you were saying, and they got themselves into a position where they can just take a splash and go and put themselves up into the top 5 with only a few lap old tires.
Just so we're clear, the 8 car also got a splash and go.
Yeah. And we're going to be going green here with, I believe it'll be 19 to go. So I'm surprised that the likes of Caden Tufts, Alex Kenton, Tim Conrad, and Robert Hill did not pit. I'm not sure what the plan is there. Maybe just to try and lead some laps if you're Caden Tufts.
Also, I want to say, Brent Jones on the YouTube chat and also on the Discord saying, just wasn't my night, wasn't feeling 100% and drove like a rookie. Sorry to Ty and Timmy for that earlier. So Brent Jones apologizing to the mistake that he did earlier in this half.
It's okay, Brent. You're definitely not even the worst mistake we've seen so far. There's been a lot going on. But I'm sure Ty and Tim will appreciate the apology here, as we do have one to go here, so we'll be going green at 19 to go. And it'll be interesting to see those people who did pit, how quickly they can get by these top 4.
Yeah, you see, it looks like 15, 16 cars maybe here in this pack right now with everybody else playing catch-up after their extended pit stops. But we saw how well that short pit worked in the first half with cars moving up from about that 15th, 16th position to get up to the front of the pack with 4, 5, 6 laps to go. So we know that it's certainly feasible, know with the fresher tires and how fast these cars have been, the guys that did take their full pits in this stop. These guys are going to be certainly hunting to pick off drivers one by one.
I think they're going to have to be patient, though. Even though there is the potential of them not being able to get by people quick enough because of yellows. But yeah. I think you just want to try and calm down a bit here. The race is in your hands. You don't want to give these guys a free caution to just get their tires and fuel. The worst thing for them would be if it's like 7 or 8 laps, and these 4 are still somewhere in the top 10. It basically offsets the fact that they haven't pit, because either they pit and they get fresh tires and they can blow by everybody, or everybody has to pit and it's pretty much just starting from square one again.
See how it all turns out. Turn 3, truck's about to dip off. Looking for these restarts. See if Caden Tufts, who's done so well in these restarts, getting clear every single time, can do it again.
His truck about to pull off right now. And a good jump again from Caden Tufts. And he's going to be able to clear Alex Kenton on the outside, and he will be in full control of this race going into turn 1. We'll watch the fan out here. Not as aggressive this time.
Not yet.
Cannon Jones is trying to make it 3 wide, but he backs out smartly. Robert Hill with a power move on the outside here.
Yeah, still holding strong on this one. Looking for some angle of attack on this. Ryan Gavel looks to make a move on the outside. Tim Conrad sitting in 4th, 5th place right there, fighting for that position. Caden Tufts has cleared, is out of frame just barely, but looking at this top 5 to fight for maneuver up. This is one of those cars that was very fast in the first half. That one car trying to continue the march forward.
He wants to make sure he does it before the likes of Austin Beers and Vincent Isabella do it.
Ooh.
Couple of scrapes of the wall there.
Well, I can't not stress enough. I need to emphasize that the 14 you see on the screen is actually the 22 in the graphic, and the 20 you see on the screen is the 14 on the graphic.
Yes, that is
correct. Oh, Robert Hill.
Ooh. Yeah.
Speaking of the 14 you see on the graphic. Gets into the wall, and that's going to allow Ryan Gavel to make a move for 3rd going into turn 2.
Yeah, the backside of that lap, too. Richard Garcia dipped back into the pits, so pretty much putting himself in a position out of contention out of this, so cannot get, unfortunately, back up. Cannot replicate that first half performance that we saw the 57 put on, but these guys 3 wide here in turn 3. Hackathorn on the bottom side of that one. Getting a little dicey, trying to continue their move for position. Beer's going way low on this one, avoiding everybody. Not want to risk anything, and I don't blame you.
I don't want to be involved in the Hornet's Nest. It's caused way too many stings so far tonight.
Duff's holding strong here up front, though.
Yeah, he's hanging on right now. He does have his teammate behind him, so they'd be wise to potentially not battle each other since they're already at a tire disadvantage.
All right, well,
but Ryan Gavel is coming.
While we have a couple laps on the green flag racing so far, when we go ahead, we have a driver in the infield care center if you guys want to take it away.
Yeah, for sure. Let's bring him up here. Jake, just unlucky there with what happened in the second half there. It looked like you and Darren were both just trying to occupy the same part of the track. Racing deal. Can you just talk us through your night?
Well, I said after that big crash that I somehow threaded the needle through that was probably the death sentence on my race waiting to happen. So that was all my luck, I guess. I don't know. About the incident, though, I say a different story.
Sorry to cut you off there, Jake. We did have a spin. Kynan Jones is around. I don't know if that was self-inflicted. Looks like he has help.
Car incident. At least.
We'll take a look at the replay here. We'll get back to you, Jake. Sorry.
13 got into him.
Oh, Dylan Thomas.
Oh, boy.
Got underneath him.
Oh, boy. Dylan Thomas and Kynan Jones. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah, coming out of the corner. That's a tough spot to you be there, and that's just pushing in the corner. It's not anything you really want to see. You know that it's not going to end up well. It's not going to go well for you, and Thomas just gets under him, sends him in. Thomas gets away scot-free.
Yeah, there's been quite a few times this season where those two have gotten together. The drivers are talking about it right now in the driver chat, talking about how the Netflix documentary is going to love this. Anyways, getting back to Jake here. Jake, I guess just go take us back for your first half as well. You're running up front. Just unfortunately, the tire strategy that everybody pulled seemed to catch you guys off up there.
Yeah, I knew the tires were going to be a solid move there. Sure, we only had a couple laps on them, but, you know, a couple laps still makes a difference. So it was nice to have speed. Just sucks that didn't get to show it in the second stint.
Yeah, and we're talking at the start of the night. You're just on the outside looking in right now for the chase-offs. That first half performance is going to help you out. The second half will probably hinder it just a bit, but looking forward to the rest of the regular season schedule. Do you think you still have a shot here of finding your way into the top 12?
I think there's a shot. It's just a long one at this point. So, you know, we can sit back on that win at Daytona all we want, but, you know, if we're going to have nights like these where it just feels like it wasn't a racing incident, a racing deal, you know, last week, same sort of thing. So, I don't know. Seems like there's going to be ongoing history from here on.
Those are some bold words. Any shout-outs you want to give here before we let you go for tonight?
Basically, everyone at Shift Esports helping me out throughout the races, giving me a little bit details, just what to do differently, and sucks that the info I got didn't get to be used after all.
All right, that's a very dejected Jake Scarborough, as you can hear here. We're going to let him go for tonight. Yeah, you did mention that this might be an ongoing story for the rest of the season. I wonder what that means. I guess we'll have to stay tuned in future weeks to see exactly what's going on. But as we were interviewing him, about half the field came to the pits, and then the other half stayed out. Ryan Gavel, Austin Beers, Thomas Capuano, Dylan Thomas, who was the cause of that last caution as ruled by race control, and Vincent Isabella are your top 5 now. Which is to see if the tire difference is enough to make a move going up the field here as we come to, I think it'll be 12 to go when we go green.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. I mean, for the start of that, we saw Caden Tufts hold on pretty solidly in that position, but now you see these front runners we saw in the last half really back up here in the front, so they're going to be setting the pace, setting the tone for this one once again. Gavel, Beers, Capuano, Thomas, our points leader, Vincent Isabella right there, Darren Stopp, McIntosh even as well. I mean, these guys were up there fighting for these solid positions, these podium positions in that first half. So now that you have all of them lined up once again in this position, scot-free, no damage, they should theoretically all be 100% where they can race hard to get up to the front of the pack, but it's just a matter of you cannot let that first place car, that one car, incidentally the same thing, get away from you. We saw Ethan Stanley really extend the gap when in that clean air in the first half. You cannot let that happen.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here now that it's not Ethan Stanley, because Ryan Gavel saved his tires a bit more, and then was reeling in Stanley right at the end of the run of last race. So we'll see if it's going to be a different story now, if everybody's going to be able to keep up with him, and then maybe Gavel will have a bit extra at the end. Or if Gavel's going to try and do what Stanley did and pull that gap, as you were mentioning.
Now this is the opportunity for Austin Beers as well, who every single time in the last restarts of this half has been in that second, third, fourth row, now starting on the front row. We've already seen the leader every single time get the best jump to get a car length by the time you hit that checkered stripe. So Austin Beers pretty much has it in his hands here for the opportunity to go side by side into this corner and try to take this lead away early.
And also we'll be looking at Dylan Thomas, who has been strong tonight, also is not afraid to be aggressive to make some moves. Also Thomas Capuano. We were talking about how after the dirt track, he's just back to running in 20th.
And he qualified 21st.
He qualified 21st, finished 10th in the first half, and here he is now in the top 5 with 15 to go. So
pretty good bounce back going from dirt to the triangle on this one. You cannot complain about that one at all.
Love to see him finish off well. And Darren Stapp, who was also involved in that incident with Jake Scarborough, that racing deal, is up in 6th alongside Vincent Isabella, who was caught up in that first lap wreck, and now Vincent Isabella's up in the top 5 as well. We're about to get going green here. We'll see how all of these front runners battle each other. We'll be patient, or will we see some more wrecks? Who knows?
Got my eyes on that 27 back there as well. Early on incident, once again in a position, pushing top 10, trying to make a better bounce back in this and not get caught up in another racing incident.
Ace truck is off. And we are green. Gavel gets a good jump. He is going to clear Beers.
Yeah.
But
Leader
Dylan Thomas
every
gave
time.
Beers a great push, though.
Yeah, that outside line sticks together pretty well every single time. Gavel's able to clear and get up to that row before they get that run going.
And we
Trying to push
were
3 wide behind them.
nearly 3 wide. They are 3 wide. Oh my, big wreck.
Wow, Poc-OH-NO.
That is- That's-
Oh no.
That's Robert Hill and Rashid Coles. Robert Hill was up in the catch fence, it looked like.
See what started this spin, because it didn't take long once again. I mean, you're looking at 3 wide here in the second and third rows, but behind them, oh, the 20 just lost it, got loose, and ended up going out and right up into Rashid Coles. I'm sorry, the 14. It's not the 20.
Well, it is the 20 on our...
It is, but it's not.
Oh, he got hit. He got hit.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah, you can see the car judder. Let's pull up a different angle.
Got me right when I looked away.
He got hit.
On the inside there.
Oh,
that's
netcode.
That's really
Wow.
bad netcode.
That's goody on the inside right there. Unfortunate. And yeah, just gets sent up, and Rashid Cole's nowhere to go, running that outside line. Tough day for Nurse Aviator Racing, who continue to get themselves in these
I actually
unfortunate
don't understand
incidents.
that angle the 20 was taking. I think there would have been contact even if there wasn't any. Oh, let's go back. I want to see that angle again. Because he came down really sharp. No, maybe he could have stopped. Maybe he could have stopped, but that was horrible netcode. That was horrendous.
Not great. But that's showbiz, baby.
Oh, we're gonna have a
Fifth
restart
caution.
on the single digits, guys. Now.
Yeah,
I think
so
everybody
now
that's
it's
gone
go
down pit
time.
road- Yeah, nobody's gonna be going down pit road unless you're gonna be fixing damage at this point.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these guys continuing to make up positions as well because of these cautions, just taking one at a time. I mean, I mentioned the 27. He was in 11th, 12th place in the first half before he got taken out by a racing incident. Was in 10th on that restart, now pushed up to 7th place. McIntosh and Hackathorn fell victim to Peeler coming out of this one. So Peeler slowly but surely moving up the track and getting into a better position. But these leaders up here, Gavel, Beers, Capuano, Dylan Thomas, it's the same 4 or 5 cars that have been fighting top 5 pretty much all day. And it's just a matter of which line is going to take the restart, which one's going to go faster. And every single time, it's whoever's the leader is the one that gets the jump and then is able to take away the momentum from the other line.
Yeah, you're going to wonder if Beers and Thomas are going to be communicating a bit here about maybe finding some sort of good push going down into turn 1. Otherwise, like you said, Gavel's going to be clear.
And I'm sure these guys up here in the front, like the top 5, they would love to race. They would love nothing more than to just have the green flag opportunity to go for position. But unfortunately, there's just a lot of squirrely things happening in the middle of the pack, and they can't even get a good extended run where they can distance themselves from the rest of the field and try to actually fight for where they're at.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and I think Carlos is right. Yeah, we are going to go green with, what will that be, 8 to go?
Yeah, at least, yeah, probably.
Was Vincent Isabella just turned under yellow? It looked like his car turned right up to the right, or was he warming up his tires? Okay, it looks like he was just warming up his tires.
Yeah, a little cool, a little cloudy, a little foggy. But this race is not disappointed. I mean, we've had a lot of good green flag racing we have seen. I mean, these guys are making good passes. They're making things interesting. It's not just boiling down to a single file. And when it does go single file, you can clearly see some of these guys making these inside and outside lines working for them to get themselves up into the field, up through traffic, making solid passes. It's just these restarts are killing us every time. Everybody just gets all jumbled up, and everybody's fighting for the position.
We also do have Robert Hill in the infield care center. I don't know if we have enough time right now.
Let's go a lap or two under green flag conditions, and then we'll bring in Robert Hill.
Alrighty.
And get his
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Some tense moments here for the drivers. They know that it's now go time. They're probably all just praying that they can get some green flag racing to settle this.
Not a lot of racing left. That's what you talked about, looking at these cautions with some of these guys making these pits, hoping that they could get these extended runs. But with all these laps behind this pace truck, and it's a lot of laps.
And how about Adam Peeler now up in 7th place? Like,
Yeah.
Really solid run for him.
Well, I almost thought about picking the 27, but I was just too scared to do it. I lacked the bravado. I couldn't do it. Plus that 19 just looked like it was good enough for me. And you know what? I'm feeling pretty okay with that one. But Peeler's having a good bounce back. I mean, Peeler hasn't had a lot of great races the last few weeks. So to be running top 10 in a decent position, you got to be pretty happy with that one.
And we're about to find out how this is all going to pan out. Ryan Gavel gets yet again under the great start. And Beers is going to chop down low.
Yeah. Haven't seen
Grab that
yet.
draft as quickly as he could.
Dylan Thomas potentially looking to try to find the angle to get up there, but that outside line just did not get going this time around. Beers is going to be able to run away from the rest of that one, and he's going to be following the back bumper of Ryan Gavel all the way down the straight, trying to stay in that pocket of air. These two can try to run away from the field and then fight for that lead position.
Dylan Thomas now side by side with Vincent Isabella, just a little bit farther back. Trying to make that move for 4th place.
On the inside, he's going to potentially get past this. At least gets to the door, trying to get the bumper. Big spread going down this one. And these cars up front are all over the track.
Trying to find any type of momentum they can possibly grab.
Aaron Staff up on the back bumper. Vincent Isabella trying to clear Dylan Thomas, our points leader.
All the way down to the yellow line there, the top 3.
Gavel just does not want Austin Beers in his pocket of air at all. And Thomas Capuano is doing everything he can to try to get inside of Austin Beers' draft to get up there. Quarter second separating first and second place. And Dylan Thomas still fighting on the inside here. Did get passed by Isabella. Darren Staff looks like he's going to take that position away as well on the outside. And these two front runners,
they're gonna put it in the wall. They're gonna put it in the wall if they're not careful.
They're putting 10 lanes to use.
We've had Robert Hill waiting in the infield care center for a while now.
That's right.
We're gonna go ahead and take him in and get his take on what happened.
All right, I'll grab him here. Robert, I'm sure you're enjoying watching this battle for the lead here, but can you talk us through what happened? It looked like it was a big net code that took you out of this race.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate one there. We were side by side with Goody, went 3 wide, and man, I think there was a good 2 feet of net code between us, sent me sideways. All of a sudden, next thing I knew, I was looking up at the sky and the sun was shining right into my eyes, which is not what you want to be doing on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looked like it was just unfortunate there. Good to hear that you're okay. Didn't want you to get blinded there by the sun. Before we talk more about the race here, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I got to thank Roasted Gems Coffee, my premier partner on board all of my cars. We also have Drive Smart warranty on the car. And, of course, Sugar Moon Creations. Can't thank them enough. And Adam Peeler for the opportunity to get in the car. We're hoping to be in the car for the majority of the remainder of this season. And hopefully we can have some better runs than what we had here tonight. It was not our night, that's for sure.
Some unlucky events for you. I think we are going to have to let you go here as we talk about the end of this race. It's getting pretty intense.
Great battle here.
All right, but thank you for popping in, Robert, and better luck for the rest of the season for you.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good ending here.
All right, that was Robert Hill here, but yeah, Austin Beers is keeping close to Ryan.
Yeah.
Still 2/10.
Got him just a few car lengths away, and they're still using all 10 lanes of traffic that they can find on these straights, and he's not going to let him get out. On the backside, though, Capuano has dropped. And
Vic, is there a rule about how much snaking they're allowed to do? Because
the serpentine pattern. And the crazy thing about the serpentine is they're still maintaining this gap, and they're actually building on the lead that these two cars have, while these three, Vincent Isabella, Darren Stapp, and Thomas Capuano, are fighting for third place.
It's insane. You see the focus on Terrence Stapp here as he's trying to find a way past Thomas Capuano, but it's now down to a 1/10.5 up front. Going back up to 2/10 through the tunnel pit.
Guys, I think the fog is getting worse.
The weather's moving in, clearly.
The mood is setting for the final couple laps of this race.
Vic, what if it just starts raining?
Yeah. Do we have rain tires?
It won't.
I don't think NASCAR has rain tires at a track like Poc-OH-NO.
Yeah, probably. Probably not in Phoenix, no. Or Pennsylvania, yeah. Well,
Pennsylvania and Phoenix are very similar climates.
It's a P. It starts with a P.
Easily confused.
God, these guys up front are still just going at it. I mean, they're slithering all over the track. Like, they cannot. I mean, I gotta give credit, though.
If you're Beers, I've got to wonder if after, like, the second snake, is it even worth it to pull down and join him, or just let him kill his momentum and just keep it straight at that point and kind of use a slingshot?
The thing that blows my... I mean, I think you probably just let it happen at this point, but, like...
Yeah.
Sure, they're killing momentum, but imagine if they didn't just drop all their momentum, how much more of a lead they would have over the likes of Thomas Capuano.
Yeah, Beers decided he's not close enough now. He did have a couple bad corners, and he's lost a couple tenths, giving Gavel some breathing room.
Isabella dropped off of Capuano and Darren Stapp and is now fighting for position with Dylan Thomas, our points leader, up there. Ty McIntosh lurking right behind him. Be a good battle up there with 2 to go. These guys are at it, and Austin Beers is trying to find something to work for him. He just cannot close this gap.
He's going to need a mistake out of Ryan Gavel now.
Yeah.
Oh, a mistake by Beers. He got too tight.
Yeah, now he's lost another 10th. That might do it for the battle for the lead, but we still have a lot of action going on for for 5th place.
Yeah, 3rd through 7th is so close together that any one of these guys could run away with this. McIntosh is caught up to the back bumper, Dylan Thomas, as they've cleared now into single file with the white flag out.
Capuano having another great run, as we mentioned. Can he hang on for a podium finish here?
He backed off the pace a little bit there to lose from Austin Beers and Ryan Gavel to get back into this group, but he's still been able to block well enough to get himself in this 3rd place running and holding on to this one. But Darren Stapp, you said you saw the focus on his face trying to run Capuano down to get himself into that 3rd spot. But these guys in the back, McIntosh, Dylan Thomas, are fighting for that one. And Ryan Gavel's not going to give it up. No mistakes made. Turn 3 coming out. It's going to be his to win.
And Ryan Gavel will get that win that he nearly had in the first half. Austin Beers comes 2nd. Thomas Capuano 3rd. Side by side for 4th. I think Stapp just barely got it over Isabella.
Close finish. Great racing back there. I mean, that, like you said, that 3rd to 7th place, those guys were tooth and nail for every single inch that they could get. And .02 is the unofficial separation between those two. So great fight to that one. Thomas Capuano able to hold on, but Ryan Gavel, I mean, exactly what he needed to do off the restarts time and time again. He got 8 laps of green flag racing, was able to get the restart he needed, and after that, it was just hold on to the lead. Did a great job to block Beers, not let him get going on that first lap, and after that, just maintain distance.
All right, so coming up, once we let these guys kind of slow down a little bit, we are going to be interviewing the half 1 winner, followed by the half 2 winner, and then who do you guys want to interview here for our 3rd interview of the night? I'll let you guys pick.
I think it would be great to potentially get some clicks here, maybe stir the pot. Let's talk to Dylan Thomas about his continued contact with Kynan Jones.
Okay, yeah, we can do that, and yeah,
I think I
like that idea.
So hopefully Vic let the drivers know of the changes that we were doing in the broadcast, so we don't have any possibly hurt feeling drivers after this race.
Celebratory burnout, Ryan Gabble looking pretty good, and this one has done, I mean, very well. Time race in and race out. The last month or so has always been one of those front runners, and walking away with the win here, it's got to be, you're feeling pretty good.
All right. Well, before we even get to the drivers,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Look through the results.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, Ryan Gabble gets that win that he nearly had in the first half. Austin Beers, Thomas Capuano with a great run again this week. Darren Stapp, Vincent Isabella round out your top 5. Further down the top 10, Dylan Thomas, Ty McIntosh, Matt Hackathorn. Good recovery for Matt after that first half where he got that EOL. Caden Tufts in 9th, and James Watson also a nice second half after being involved in a first lap incident in the first half.
Yeah, Ray Bracey, unfortunately, had a couple of situations, got caught up in some wrecks today. But OSCA Daddy started on the pole there in the second half, ends up in 12th. Peeler dropped back into 13th after that last restart. Alex Kitten there, 14th. Tristan Millette, 15th. And then you see 16, 17, 18, all in Do Good Motorsports, Dewar, Goody, and Carpenter rounding out that one. But, I mean, you see a lot of these guys that had quietly good nights. Caden Tufts was up front for a lot of the second half, and then ends up with the top 10 finish. And you can't really complain too much about that given their pit strategy, staying out when everybody else was pitting, and you still end up with the top 10 finish. You got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, nothing to complain about for Caden. The weird strategy call, as you mentioned, worked out for him. Couldn't expect that from us up here in the booth. And just further down the field, people like Brent Jones, Jake Scarborough, Zach Evans, just wrong place, wrong time tonight. Brent Jones and Robert Hill, specifically both halves, I believe, got caught up in some unfortunate events. Richard Garcia, unlucky to finish 19th, honestly, in this one. Had a great run in the first half, but him, along with Ethan Stanley, got caught up in that lap 1 wreck and were never really able to recover.
Yeah, tough situation out of that. And, you know, we saw a lot of incidentals out of Zach Evans got caught up. Jake Scarborough, same as well. A lot of just unfortunate positions you put yourself in, and with all the chaos that we had on all the restarts and everybody fanning out in that first turn, it's a tough break for a lot of drivers that didn't get the finishes they wanted.
Yeah. All right. I think, is this time to bring up Ethan Stanley here, Carlos?
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up sprint winner here tonight. Because remember, the first race, this is a sprint and a feature race. So let's go ahead and bring him up.
All right. So here we are with Ethan Stanley, our sprint winner. Ethan, let's not talk about what happened in the second half for you. Let's talk through that first half, which was very dominant. Not the first time that you've been dominant in a race so far this season. Just talk us through your night.
Yeah, I mean, the first race was pretty simple. Just stay out front, keep Gavel in the dirty air, and just kind of keep my pace.
Yeah, for sure. And you talked about keeping Gavel in the dirty air, but at the end there, he was coming stronger. How much relief did you feel when he hit the wall there off of 2?
I know he was pushing. My tires are starting to fall off a little bit, but I felt like I could have held him off even if he got close to my bumper. It was just, I mean, me and him race a lot. We're on the same team. So I know he wouldn't have moved me for a win there.
It's good to have that trust with your fellow drivers on the track. And then with the second half, I think there was nowhere for you to go. Can you tell us what you saw?
Yeah, I saw a big wall of cars wrecking on the track, and I went for the apron. And,
Fair enough.
That was about it.
Trevor, do you have anything for Ethan here?
Just the repeated storied success that you've had. I mean, unfortunate that you didn't quite get that second half finish that you were hoping because of the wall of cars that was conveniently parked in front of you. What's it look like long term, where you've had so much success already going into this one? What's that mentality like of a bounce back after a DNF in the second half? How are you getting back on the horse for next week?
Also, I guess I'll be back for next week. I'm gonna be looking for a ride, but yeah, I mean,
hey, yo,
it
what?
doesn't really affect me too much. I'm not running the full season, so gotta kind of just forget about wrecking out and just head down for next race. I think it's Vegas.
And it is.
Well, that I guess
Make a
not having to
gamble.
worry about wrecking out makes you drive with no pressure at all. Before we let you go here and we move on to our second half winner, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, just big shout out to Cameron for having me drive his car, and shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast, and just everybody in the league racing be fair.
All right. Well, thank you, Ethan. Have a great night. That was Ethan Stanley, our first half or sprint winner, and I believe we're going to bring up Ryan Gavel now. Trevor, you want to take this one away?
I would love to. I'd love to bring in Ryan Gavel, who obviously had a pretty good race there in the second half. Something must have gone right for you. Those restarts, just talking through every single one of them. The field, obviously, they're getting pretty crazy in the back, but every single restart, you end up at least a couple of car lengths ahead of whoever is alongside you. How did you get yourself in that position every time?
Yeah, I mean, the restarts was probably not the hardest part of the night. I mean, just getting a good jump, it's all it takes, because just such a long straightaway here that, you know, you get the jump, you take off, you get going before everyone else, because everyone else has to react to you, and that straightaway is so long, it makes it pretty easy to clear everyone. Just put myself back up on the outside line to get a good entry into one and get off that corner. And yeah, when all those guys are fanning out, going 3 and 4 wide and battling behind, it makes it a lot easier too. But yeah, the restarts were good. Definitely helped that I was able to hit all those really well, and a little bit of pit strategy as well came into it, where I was able to get the jump on Beers when I took 2 tires there, and we didn't get a ton of green flag laps, and once we did, it really wasn't enough for anything to make a difference. So yeah, it wasn't, I don't know if it was the best race to watch for you guys, but I do like Poc-OH-NO, and there was some good racing here and there and some good battles through the field. It wasn't totally impossible to pass, but it was tough. But I thought it was a pretty fun race.
I wouldn't complain about the quality racing that we saw up here at all. We just talked to Ethan Stanley about that first sprint that we had. His objective was to keep you in the dirty air, to not let you get anything going. Was that your goal that you had for the second half, to keep Austin Beers behind you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that first half, I made a couple mistakes just catching the wall on entry to the corners with the right rear. I'm not used to driving these Xfinity cars that much. So just a couple things about them that catch me off. I made a couple mistakes. I started reeling Stanley in on that long run at the end of that first half, and maybe needed a couple more laps to have a chance, but I don't know if I would have got him anyway. It's tough to pass the leader here. So that was tough, but yeah, I was definitely giving him the whole snake treatment down the straightaway.
Yeah, you were.
Trying to break the draft like what's the Indy 500 or something, but which I don't know. It's tough because I don't know how much of an advantage that really is, but I was doing it anyway because he was catching me a little bit, and then at the end of the run he started trying to make things happen and make moves. But yeah, definitely entering the corner a little lower, just so when he gets down to the bottom, because it's basically a one groove track. I mean, you can kind of run other grooves, but not really. So if you enter low and the guy behind you's got to get to the bottom at one point, and then they get stuck in your dirty air. And I know he's tried searching around there at the end of the run, but I mean, you can run a little off the bottom. There's some grip, but you're still going to get that dirty air. So yeah, it's tough to catch a guy if you're not at a large advantage.
Last thing that I have, just in more of a broad picture, big picture kind of thing. You guys at Shift Esports doing so well, right there up in the mix of the top 3 for team point standings. What is it with the culture you guys have at Shift that makes it such a successful team that we see you guys constantly up front, if not winning the races?
Yeah, no, this is it's good to get a win. I think I know this is my first win of the season, and I think Jake won at Daytona, and we're always running up front. Ty's always running good. I think he was able to pull off some decent finishes tonight, so we'll take it. We're getting good solid runs. Other than getting suspended at the beginning of the season, and you know, I had some really bad 2 halves at Dover when I screwed up having a good run a couple weeks ago. I've been pretty consistent, so I've been happy with the results, other than 2 or 3 weeks that are outliers. But I know that the one car will probably stay up front in the owner's points, and the team points were in pretty good shape, and crawling my way back up there in the driver points since I had to miss a race. That's where I'm in a bit more of a hole. But first and third tonight will definitely put us in better shape. But yeah, the team, we really work well together, all the guys. We were a little short-handed tonight, but yeah, I think we just work really well together. We help each other out. We don't hide anything, obviously, and we just do our best to help each other where we can. Which at this track, it was good to share a little bit of tidbits of information, how to run corners and how to set up the car and how to drive it, and our pit strategies and everything. Which me and Ty were on the same pit strategy there at the end, which I think paid off and gained us some spots because he got tore up there early in the race. So yeah, just we're able to work together where it counts and gain a lot out of it.
Team doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well for yourself. A first place finish tonight. Do you have any shout outs or anything you want to plug before we let you go?
Yeah, I gotta just thank everybody at Shift on the team again for helping out. Everybody over there does a great job just making us get the best of our results that we can possibly get. You guys up in the broadcast booth, Vic and all them for running the league. It's a good time here on these Thursday nights. Love it. And we'll be back again next week. Try to win again.
Feel like that's not going to be the last we hear out of Ryan Gavel for the season. Mentioned the team success. Obviously, Ty McIntosh dropping a 9th and a 7th place finish here tonight. So pretty good day here for Shift Esports, and Ryan Gavel seeing himself off into the sunset with the first place finish on that feature. Not too bad. Not going to complain about that.
No, for sure. And we're talking about some other good runs here. You mentioned Tyler with 9th and 7th. Vince Isabella had 2 5th place finishes. Austin Beers with 7th in the first half where he faded a bit because of the tires, but then 2nd when the strategy fell into his lap the way that he wanted to. And then we mentioned it, Thomas Capuano, a double top 10, 1 top 5.
Yeah.
Is this the rise of Thomas Capuano? I don't know. A whole bunch of great stories from tonight, but the one person I want to talk to here that did not win a half here, it's Dylan Thomas. Dylan, I gotta ask, the story between you and Kynan continues to grow. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. He bobbled through 1 and 2. I tried not to get into him. I picked the throttle back up, and he hadn't yet. And we came together.
That's a fair assumption. I know, I'm not. I know it's not intentional from you. I know you just drive hard. I remember being on a team with you last couple seasons ago, or was that last season? I guess it was only last season. But I do know it's starting to get picked up by the drivers in the field. They're making jokes about Netflix and Drive to Survive. So I guess you got to keep your head on a swivel. But let's just talk for your night here. What did you see out there tonight?
It was tough to pass. Once you got to somebody, if you drove to the bottom, you open the top up, let 3 or 4 by. So that's what happened there. I was trying to just fall in line, let him go, and he bobbled, and he went around.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking about how it's hard to pass. You suffered with that in the first half, finishing 16th. The second half, you're able to get 6th, so you're going to be doing pretty good in the points still tonight. I'm not sure if you'll keep on to that lead of the point standings, but going forward for the rest of the season, what do you think your shots are battling for this championship?
As long as I can stay consistent, I feel good. I feel like I've got good speed. I'm learning how to manage the right front a little bit better, so I think if we just keep on the track we're going, we'll be all right.
All right, and Trevor, do you have anything for him before we do shoutouts?
Just out of what we saw out of the racing, the second half especially, a lot of good racing there between that 3rd to 7th place. What was it like there with that drop-off? I mean, we saw a lot of the guys that just couldn't quite keep up with those 2 cars that were gapping the rest of the field. What was it like fighting there in the middle of traffic? Was it difficult to get through, or was it just your teeth grit the entire time?
You're trying to go forwards, but you can't. Once you get close to somebody, it's so hard to pass here. You really got to make your move in 3 and 4 and make it down the front, or 3 and 4. You got to make it through 3 and get it done down the front stretch, or you got to make a move out of 1, because 2 wide through the tunnel turn really don't work. You can make it work if a guy gives you room, but if he doesn't, it's going to be bad news. But it was really just ride and survive and just get out of here with what you can get.
All right, Dylan. Any shout-outs you want to give here before we let you go for the night?
I got to thank Peeler and all the guys over at Nurse Aviator Racing, and y'all for putting on this broadcast. Y'all do a hell of a job announcing, so I want to give you all a shout-out for that.
All right, well, thank you, Dylan. I'm sure we'll hear from you as the season goes on. Dylan Thomas, currently our points leader. I'm not sure what's going to happen once the points update. I believe Beers might be in a position to retake his points lead. And yeah, we'll continue to cover the ongoing feud between him and Kynan Jones, which seems to be one-sided based off of that interview we just held. I don't know what you think about that, Trevor.
I think that one's just I'm not going to take much out of the incident from today. Not really. I think it was just exactly what he said. It looked like coming out of the corner, kind of couldn't quite get up into it fast enough, but as subtle as that contact was, it certainly could be construed as one or the other.
Especially because of the history throughout the season. Before we wrap up, Carlos, is there anything that we're missing here?
Vic, is there anything we're missing here? Oh, actually, I got some notes provided to us by Vic that we can go ahead and bring out. I believe you have them as well, because I appear to have lost this word.
You're talking about the notables from tonight? Because I did talk about them.
Let's get some notables information out there.
I did talk about them.
Hey, you included them in the interviews, but I thought they were really interesting. Also, I mean, another notable I didn't mention is Goody. On debut, finishing 14th and 17th.
Not bad.
That's definitely not bad.
Washed.
I didn't say it. It wasn't me.
I gotta show this. Ray Bracey with the photo of the year so far. Just a quick second.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Just missed it by that much. If you just extended the car by another half car length, yeah.
Go ahead and wrap it up, fellers.
All right. Well, it was a great night of racing. A bit more wrecks than I'm sure OSCA would like to see, but it provided a great finish in both halves. We're going to Vegas next week, I believe that's correct?
Yep.
Yes, all right. Well, I'm sure it will be another great race next week for Trevor McNeil, Vic Bloom, and Carlos Acosta. I'm Nathaniel Cherry. Thanks for watching 3 Wide TV's broadcast tonight of the Weekend Woodsman OSCA Series. I said that wrong again, but whatever. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.